Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com. Today I have the Hedgehog Hollow May Kit, and I just got this in the mail and I wanted to share it with you because there's lots of really great things in this kit this month. There is this stencil with the sun and the waves. This one is a sand dollar stencil. We've got this one that's a seashell stencil, so lots of stencils, and I'm going to share one of those, how to use it today. And then the paper pack that comes in this is lots of really great, fun, summery feeling or Hawaiian feeling, I guess. We've got some florals on this side, pineapples here, and then on the other side, some waves. Oops, I mean turtles. I actually grabbed a second one there. So these are double-sided papers. This one is the waves, and then on the other side are those waves right there. So lots of choices, tiki statues and more florals, some yellow and some words. And this set is a very tropical Hawaiian feeling. It made me want to take a little vacation. But it's almost like taking a vacation when you're working in your craft room, right? Then we've got a couple of stamp sets. This one is the one with all of the Hawaiian images. Look at this surfboard, that turtle. I'm in love with that turtle. I'm going to use that one today on a card. And all those images, lots of great sentiments as well, like aloha, catch the wave, see la vie, seize the day, be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside. Saltwater heals everything. You're the lime to my coconut, surf more, and lots more. And so this is a really great kit. Let's go ahead and break it open today. I'm going to build up a background using this stencil, and I didn't realize it at the time, but the sun fits right into those waves. So I'm going to show you just how to do that. But before I do, I want to pick out my colors. I'm going to choose some kind of turquoise colors here, the blue raspberry and neon lights, and I'll throw in some Vegas strip as well to darken things up later on. But I'm going to pull out my Maker's Mat a sheet of paper from my Maker's Mat, because that way I can ink this on and not get it on my beautiful new cutting mat. So this paper is great for ink blending or measuring your cards. It's got a grid on it, and you can also clean off your brush before going in with a lighter color. Now I wanted to go in a little faster, but look at that. I had some ink on my fingers and I got it all over this card panel. I'm going to try to save it, and so I'm going to keep inking and move forward and see if I can make it work. But in the end, those ink splotches were a little too much to get rid of, and so I ended up turning it over and trying it again on the other side. This time I was a little more careful, and I used a large blending brush to quickly get that color all over the bottom portion of this panel. Then I used those waves to add that and blended a little more blue on there to kind of get rid of that line. If you don't want to go over that line, you can tape it off so you don't get a harsh line. And I'm just going to keep blending and blending to get a little darker result and make that ocean a little more blended. Then on the top portion, I'm going to go in with some Yellowstone yellow ink here all over the top before I add the sun stencil to it. I found this really makes it look a little better so it wasn't such a stark white background. Then I'm going to line the sun right over that wave. You can see there's a curve that fits just over the curves of the waves. And now I'm going to ink a little darker with the Yellowstone ink over this sun stencil. And then I'll bring in some Flamingo ink. That's going to give it more of a sunset vibe. So I'm just going to ink the lower portion of the sun and those sun rays. And just darken it up a little bit here and there. And I'll blend through with the yellow to make that blend all the way out. And look at that sun. It's really, really pretty. Now I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that turtle right on. I'm using Welsh Dragon ink this time to stamp it on, and look at this design of this turtle is really beautiful. I think in and of itself this turtle would make a great background for a card as well. Just stamp it in multiples, different colors. I went ahead and cut down that panel and used some of the yellow paper from the paper kit. And now I've chosen a greeting. I'm going to heat emboss this greeting. So before I do that, I wanted to test and make sure the ink was fully dry. And to do that, I'm going to wipe some embossing powder on and look how it sticks. So this is not dry. It's not ready to ink on the sentiment and add embossing powder. If I did that, it would make a big mess. So I'm going to take my heat tool. I'm going to heat up this panel to dry that ink a little bit faster. Sometimes I'm a little impatient in my crafting, so I wanted that to be done right away. And then it was ready for heat embossing. I'm using some of the most beautiful solar flare heat embossing powder. It's gold and glittery and really beautiful. So once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and use some fun foam to pop this panel up onto that yellow background paper. And my sentiment says, "Sky above, sand below, peace within." And that really spoke to me, so I love that. Now I'll go ahead and add this yellow panel to a card base. It's a 110-pound card base. And I'll just glue that on, a small little stream of glue there. I'm using my favorite Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And then I'll go ahead and use the same thing on the back of that fun foam. The reason I use the score tape on the front, because I don't want the panel in the front of the card to warp, which sometimes it does with liquid adhesive on fun foam. So that's why the score tape works really well there. But I use the liquid adhesive for everything else. I've added some lemon gems, which really brings out the sun. And there's our card for today. Nice and simple, but look at how beautiful that stencil works together. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the May Hedgehog Hollow Kit. And if you have any questions, I will have the link to the blog post below so you can find out more about this kit. And I'll list all of the supplies as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps me out with YouTube. And I will be back soon with more card making inspiration. Bye-bye.